All right, all right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to all my friends and the fans of Happy Coach. And today I have a very special guest with me tonight, and I've always wanted to. He's one of the first person I wanted to interview since the show started. He's a pretty busy person. I finally managed to get him. So Mr. Koh Chun, and he's an entrepreneur, and he also started Dignity Kitchen. So in case you guys don't know, Dignity Kitchen is a project that helps the less advantaged people in our society to have a means of earning an income for themselves. So Mr. Koh, maybe you can share a little bit about yourself and why you do what you do.
Okay, Yentai, first of all, thank you for inviting me. I will share a bit about what I do, maybe my background, then how
Yeah.
social about entrepreneurship and so forth. Okay, my name is
Yes.
Koh Seng Chun. I actually started my career as a shipyard worker in Jurong Shipyard. And after the shipyard, I decided that I want to further my study. I'm a poly grad from Singapore Poly. I think you all know, like, at that time poly cannot go to university one. So I decided to ask my mom and dad to help me out, and I saved some money. And at the age of 35 or 33, I left Singapore, and I went to Sheffield to study. I studied mechanical engineering and business studies together. I did a joint honors degree. I finished with first class honors. After that, I decided that I think 80 something, the time was quite bad in Singapore. So I got a job. I tried to look a job in Sheffield. That's where I studied from. I graduated from university. Then I stay in Sheffield. I work as a foundryman. Now, maybe some of you may not know what it is. Foundrymen are people who make castings, big steel metal block, right? And it's very rare for a Chinese boy or Chinese-looking Singaporean to be running be inside a British foundry. British foundry is like coal miner and stuff. It's very close industry. I'm very lucky. I managed to get a job working there, and started at management training. Now, the story behind it is that it happened to be the worst part of the British history. It's something the coal miners' strike, where the whole country went on strike, and it's very tough. I learned a lot. I learned about the color of your skin. At the end of the day, it's all about respect. I'm short, and I remember when I went to work, it's either they call you Bruce Lee or Jackie Chan. No, sorry, Bruce Lee or Charlie Chan. They never. But I learned during the course of that few years apprenticeship. Then I later become a foundry manager, running the foundry. 48-man, 10,000 ton of steel I produce every year. So it's very rare to do this experience. The company I work for has capacity, but not enough orders. So my boss is very clever. Why don't we go and buy over somebody else's company, strip it down, take the order and do it ourselves. I become what they call an asset stripper. And that was the first time I went around buying company and stripping them. The company went for IPO. Then I also learned about IPO in London. So at about 25, 26 years old, I learned a lot of exposure, which is why I always encourage young people nowadays, go and see the world. The world is such a beautiful place. And Singapore is not the center of the universe. A lot of people think that that's it. No. So I went there, and at that time the company is very good. It actually went around the world buying company. I went to China in 1980s. I realized I learned a lot of Chinese about China culture and business culture. I went to Indonesia. I went everywhere. I bought 30 company, bought 8, shut 5. That's what I actually do, right? And every time I go, I'm called what they call hatchet man. My job is to chop, chop, chop. That's not. Then after a while, my mother said, my dad said, very bad. Not to do always closing company. And that's why I realized making company grow is what I really love to do. I quit and I did my master's degree in computer integrated manufacturing. I hold a master of science, which later we realize is very irreverent to what I'm trying to. It's very reverent to what I'm trying to do. So after that, I got my master's degree. I worked a few years in Geneva, and then for Geneva, a Swiss-based company. In 1994, I came back to Singapore. Right. So in Singapore, I realized
my father-in-law says good morning. Good evening to you.
Oh, your father-in-law. Good evening, father-in-law.
That's my father-in-law. Hello.
So my background, I'm 61 this year, so I'm not young. So in those days, when I first 94, I came back. And that's why I work for a company called Coopers & Lybrand. I'm a senior manager for Coopers & Lybrand. Quite stable job, quite nice. I do a lot of IPOs and stuff like that, mergers and acquisition. So later on, I realized something in Singapore at that time when I came back is there's no beggars in Singapore. You don't see them. There's no homeless people, and there's no
Yep.
uh, beggars in Singapore. You don't see them. Cannot be. You got 6 million people, 5.6 million people, and where are they?
Actually, they
And
are.
they are,
You
they
are
are,
know it, they are.
yeah. But a lot of people either don't want to see them or don't see them. So I went to find the answer, and the cause of it, I started something called Dignity Day. One day a month, I do
Mm.
something good lah. And I did it.
Yep.
I started with the elderly at Spottiswoode Park. Later, I went to work with
Mm-hmm.
uh, President Yellow Ribbon. I do work many years for Yellow Ribbon. I went to teach and so forth lah. Right. And I
Yep.
started in 2006, the first idea of how to do a social enterprise. At that time, social enterprise very new. The only thing people talk about social enterprise is Grameen Bank. So I went
Yes.
out and I started working with
What year was that, Mr.
finding.
Koh?
I started
When you first started your
2006. 2006 was the
2006?
idea. 2707 was when I looked for people. So you tie all
Mm.
these friends around you, right? If you want to go in business, look for them lah. Then '08 I look for site. '09 I look for
Yep.
money. And I '10 I started Dignity Kitchen, right? It's actually a
Yes.
social enterprise whose task
Mm.
is to create job for people with disability. So to
Mm.
cut the story short, I grow from strength to strength. Now, from one store at Balestier Market, I went to Kaki Bukit, and I went on to a bigger site at Serangoon. And as of Thursday,
Mm.
last Thursday, we moved to a
Yep.
10,000 square feet space at 69 Boon Keng Road. So the dream started with just one store in 2010. Now it's actually one
Mm.
complete building, a warehouse. So the challenge of
Mm-hmm.
doing it is quite tough. Then it's a very unique operation where you try to help people who are disabled to get jobs. So on top of
Yes.
that,
Yes.
we started Dignity Mama, which is to help mother with disabled children. Many people don't understand that when a mother gives birth to a disabled child, right? Everybody focus on the child. Wrong. You focus on the mother.
On
Can
the
you imagine
mother.
everybody? You know, I'm trying to check out you know, why you so? Mother have pressure. A lot of people don't understand the challenges of a mother
Yes,
or the
and there's always this
caregiver.
Chinese culture thing that if the child has something wrong, that means something wrong with the mom or the dad, the
That's
parents.
right. And some curse their previous ancestors and all. Sometimes
Correct.
very sad.
Correct.
So in the
Correct.
course of it, I met a lot of this mother, and some are because the husband also don't want them. So I decided to put
Mm.
them all together and start a bookshop. The first one is at Khoo Teck Puat Hospital, a bookshop that's selling secondhand books. It started
Yep.
very small with a kiosk. Normally I don't start big projects. I just small one by one, and then I grow from there. I second the second one at NUH Medical Center. The third one is
Mm.
at Ng Teck Puat Hospital, and the fourth one at Sengkang. I'm doing number 5 now, right? So Dignity Kitchen has grown a lot over the years, and just to give an idea, I train and place thousands by now. I'm one of the only. I think I would say I'm the only hawker training program in Singapore, which WSQ and
Yep.
all that. So Skill Future, and we incubated over 30 over hawker store by now. Our focus is more on the disabled and the disadvantaged people, right?
Mm.
Then just also one day we do, as I told you, I like elderly people actually. So I realized when you
Mm-hmm.
grow older and you go to nursing home, right? You know what these people want?
Yes.
They want to go out. Old people want to go out. Seriously, they want to go out. So I started
Yeah,
helping
they
over
do, and they are very lonely.
yeah,
They are really very lonely.
yeah. So I took a bus. I started with only four. I've been doing 40 every day for last 11 years, non-stop. I've done 130,000. I can say I don't
Wow.
think many people can bring elderly out every day for last 10, 11 years. A, B, C, D. A can walk, B with crutches, C on wheelchair, B bedridden. Disabled, we have helped thousands. Train and
Yep.
place program. Not we don't take like one time 20, 30 people one. We actually focus on maybe 1 year lah, about 80 of them. So every batch is about
Mm.
6 to 8 people. Because
Mm.
I made a lot of mistakes along the way. And to
Yep.
learn to where I am today, I learned from my mistake of what I should not do and what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
now with all this growing up, then just we have four kinds of disabled. Physical, that means you lost a limb.
Mm.
Mental, as in schizophrenic,
Mm.
bipolar, depression. Social, as
Yep.
in abuse cases. I don't
Yep.
do, I do this type of mental cases. And then finally,
Mm-hmm.
intellectual, IQ 70 below. So we take
Mm.
all kinds of people. The youngest I have is 17. The oldest is 87. I actually did hospice, people who are dying. So the range of things that we work on a case-to-case basis, we've done, I think, quite a lot in Singapore. Then 2 years
Mm.
ago, I started Dignity Kitchen Hong Kong, which is very rare for a social enterprise to go to the toughest place for F&B in the world, Hong Kong. And we started it now, over 2 years now. And over
Mm.
there, there are 54 people working there. I think 46 of them are disabled. And it won a
Wow,
lot of awards.
amazing.
So at the moment, from what was just in 2010, with one man, with one store and or 11, 12 employee, I now have 130, 140 employee, of which 90 over
Mm.
100 are people with disability. Now, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
going to talk
Mm-hmm.
to you about the kitchen today. I told you I'm tired. I want to talk about something
Yeah,
else. Something that
element of
is
success in living.
right. Actually, I have a character every year I try, because you see, life,
Yep.
everybody I want. My daughter. So every year I
Yeah.
set myself a little present on my birthday. Every year I set up something to do. Like one year I decided to train to go around Singapore, cycle around Singapore. One year I go north to south walking. One year I do a lot of things. I want to prefer alleys and all that. One particular year,
Mm.
I say I want. You see, when a young boy, I love National Library. I used to go. I read that. By the way, I read a lot. So I used to go National
Mm.
Library. I tell myself one day I'm going to put my book in the library, and that was how this thing started. So
Mm-hmm.
it
Mm-hmm.
happens in 1997 or 96 or something like that, 98 or 99.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
I I wrote my first book. It's called The Element of Success in Business. It all started because I actually 97, I started my journey as an entrepreneur. After working many years at corporate Cyber, 97, I started my journey as an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
Then what
Mm-hmm.
happened was, first year I did very well. I bought a nice watch. Second year I bought a Mercedes Benz. Third year I bought my no first year third year I bought my office. Then after that, fourth year I broke my leg while playing badminton with my children. And for 6 months
Okay.
I realized entrepreneurship is very tough one. Whoever tell you you want to be a 企业家, I tell you, whoever tell you never experienced the hardship of running a
Not
small
easy. It's
business.
not easy.
Not easy. Is it? You don't have CPF, never mind. But it's like every day you have to worry about it. So I sat down and said, okay, what is the element of success in business? I wrote the first book. Then it went to number one in India. Surprising. I wrote the second book, and number third book, and I wrote the fourth book. Right. Now this is the book. I don't think you can see. Can you see it? Right. The first week,
Can see, can see, can see.
second,
Can see.
that is the first. Is the first one. That is the second. Second one, and there's a third one. So I wrote three books. Now, writing book is not difficult. I mean, it's one challenge you overcome. But the most important is getting people to publish it. A lot of
Mm.
people who publish and sell, sometimes they are stuck with tens of thousands of books they have to give away. I know I run a bookshop, so a lot of people give me their book. So I'm very fortunate. When I wrote the book, it was picked up by Times newspaper, Times Publishing. Times like it very much. They actually went to Marshall Cavendish, and they signed a contract for 4 books. Right. So 3 of them finished. The fourth I finished, but I didn't want to publish anymore. Right. So it's their reason why they're so keen on their book. It's a very simple process. It's called the element of success. I don't know whether you can see this. Can see. Right. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
So today I didn't prepare anything. I just want to talk, and then maybe another
Sure,
10,
sure,
15
sure.
minutes, then you talk to me lah. Then okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I tell me the first book is
Yeah.
because it's about success in business. And
Mm.
it talks about what makes success through business. It talks
Mm.
about a man who went through a lot of failure. Then he met an old man. By the way, all the stories are true. By the way, it's actually based on
From your life
actual character
stories, lah. From your
life story.
experiences and your.
Because when I was on talking about as a consultant, I met a lot of story. So the first book is
Mm.
about element of success in business, right? Then I wrote the second one called Element of Success in Education. Now, why education? And I don't. Some of your parents remember something like EM1, EM2, EM3. At that time, my son is actually under that classification, and every
Mm.
parents are very then everybody talk about mother's care for the children. They realize father love their children as well. So I wrote the second book called The Element of Success in Education, which try to explain to people, what is success in education. Then I wrote the third one. The third one is, which I'm going to talk to you about today, is called Element of Success in Living, right? So the story about living is quite interesting. But let's go back to the first one first. Element of Success in Business is talking about how to be successful in business. So basically, it covers a very simple element. Can you see? The first one is very important. Is you must love your business, right?
Yeah, the heart and the clock.
Okay. So the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, the first one is heart. Let me close this one first. Okay, wait. I close it. I must. Okay. The first one is the heart. Wait, let me see. Okay, this one. The first one is heart. If you ever want to do a business, you must really love the business. In my case, I love food. I love, by the way, I love hawker food. So you must find something
I
you
love
really
hawker
love
food.
to do. So for example, you love to, you like to teach, right? Maybe you open something that relate to teach. Now,
Yeah.
after you write the first element, you must make sure the second element of time, right? You see,
Yes.
time is fixed, right? So you must invest in business. If you want to do a business, you cannot say, "Oh, I give you money, you go and do business." You will never succeed. You need to actually invest time in the business, right? The third
Yes.
one is knowledge, right? Knowledge to
Knowledge.
learn how to manage it. How eating hawker store is a simple operation? No, it's actually a business, right? You got cooking, you got operation, you got management, everything. So knowledge in business is very important. Never fear to learn. Right. You think I learn? If you know, do I know about hawker food? I know nuts about hawker food. I don't know how to eat. So very important thing, you must learn. The fourth element is money. Okay. Money is very important. You know why? It's not how much you have, and it's how you spend it. Dignity
Yeah.
Kitchen started with a hawker store. No, it's a big
Yeah.
deal. And last one is important is health.
Health.
Okay,
Yeah.
health. Good health. You think running a business, managing a business, it's not just mental, it's also physical. You have to be fit, right? Because there are always challenges. And a hawker, he runs could be 12 hours a day, every day, 6 days a week, 7 days a week.
Yes.
So physical
Yes.
health and mental health has to be strong, right? And the last one, more important, is opportunity, right? You see the bracket? You see the bracket? Bracket,
Yep.
bracket. You see the bracket? So it's like a formula. You see, every business, everything has opportunity. Now,
Yes.
ideas and idea is something is a resolution. So everything opportunity is how you seize it and how you make the best of it. So the entire formula story is based on this simple form. Can you see it?
Yeah. Can.
So you got to start.
Let me just quickly type it down. But actually, I'm very curious to ask you, Mr. Koh. Actually, a lot of people don't really like to learn because we after we graduate from polytechnic or university, and then we stop learning. Yeah, we stop
No.
learning.
Okay, what is learning? The very essence you cross the road, you're learning, by the way, how to cross the road.
Yeah.
Learning happens everything. Do you think I know how to manage disabled people? I know nothing. But I only have two things that are very important for my staff. You have to be patient and you be passionate. So learning comes from something you love to learn, right? In this case, do I think I know how to cook misiam laksa? I don't. Right. But at least I know what is involved in the misiam and laksa. Right. You see, Dignity
Yeah.
Kitchen is a skill-based organization. It teach you a skill. Now everybody talk about skill, right? Skill future,
Yeah.
right? That's why I'm very lucky. 11 years ago, 12 years, no, 15, 16 years ago, when I started Dignity Kitchen, nobody know what the hell is hawker. Nobody want to care about hawker.
Chris mentioned that opportunity is a key that will set all in motion. Yeah, good point. Thanks, Chris. Yeah.
So if you look at hawker, now it's UNESCO 2 days ago. Do you think I know about social enterprise? I know. I only started because I believe in what I do. So the first book is about business, how to do
Yes.
business.
Yes.
Second one I wrote is about education. Education has a lot to do. I'm talking to you not as a father now. I don't know whether Yongta, you have any kids of father who have kids out there.
On the way.
Okay, congratulations. So children, right? Actually, I love children. I love my kids. So what I'm trying to explain to you is But my son didn't do well in Chinese. He failed Chinese every day. So what I did, I need to write a book on education. You think I know about education? I don't. But what I try to do is just using the same formula. You must make him love Chinese. Invest time in
Mm.
him.
Yep.
You see,
Yep.
uh, a lot of parents do what I did. Oh, he learned violin. After violin, learn swimming. Where got time to study? Right. Time is the only thing that's fixed. So, third, knowledge. Study is not just reading the Chinese book. Study is more than that. Study is how do you manage your time, how you manage your curriculum, how do you manage a question.
Mm-hmm.
Next,
Mm-hmm.
money. Children is not cheap. For your information, tuition is not hundreds of dollars, it's thousands of dollars. Right.
Yeah.
Finally, good health. Right. Some kids are able but not willing. Some are willing, not able. You have to understand where your kids come from. And I learned a lot about it. And the best is children who are able and willing. And that's where they
Mm.
did well. Finally, is
Mm.
opportunity. Right. Opportunity, there are a lot of opportunity in how we educate and work with our kids. Right. So that was the second book I wrote. Uh, Today I'm going to talk about the third book. It's called Element of Success in Living. After
Mm.
finishing the first two books, one of them went to number one in Malaysia. Okay, they sell 60,000 or whatever book. I don't remember it. So in Living, the last one, I was in a place. The story starts with how this book come about was I was in actually in Chennai. Okay,
Mm.
after I quit Coopers and Lybrand, I started my own entrepreneurship career. So I work as a consultant, management consultant. I started my
Yep.
own company called Christopher Benjamin Consultancy Services. My full time, I do a lot of system design. I do a lot of ISO. I do a lot of things. But the major
Mm.
business comes from mergers and acquisition. I at that time nobody wants to go to China, right? I was in China in 1986, right? I learned a lot about Chinese, which is very fortunate for me. I actually make money out of Chinese. How? In those days, Chinese wants to go overseas. So
Yeah.
you take the fish out of water. You want to go China and do their China business, forget it. They are much, much, much better than you. We are really no compared to them.
Mm.
So I
That's
still
right. That's
remember when we first go to China in 1980s, right? I have to bring pantyhose, cigarette. I go to China Resources,
right.
get the FEC, foreign exchange currency. I got all kinds renminbi. Then I got to change. I cross over. I got buy fridge and all that with a piece of paper. Those are the experiences. At that time, we used to bring a lot of old clothes to them, right? Especially when your relative or friends who are there. You bring a lot of old clothes. Fast forward 35, 40 years later, China has changed a lot, right?
A lot.
And
A
so
lot.
I
They
was
are
very
ahead
fortunate.
of us already in many aspects.
And I over the years I learned a lot about Chinese, but I also make money out of Chinese. In those years in
Mm.
1980s, right? I take the Chinese out to Australia to set up franchise. I take them to all kinds of things, and they need you because you are the person who can help them. 我讲华语，我的华语也通，my English also okay can get away. Then I started the next one in India. So my actual
Mm.
success comes from India. Now, I know in the 1997, 98, nobody wants to go to India. Who wants to know about India? So I went to India. I can tell the story now, actually, how I penetrate the Indian
Yep.
market,
Yep.
uh, which is for those entrepreneurs out there, is a
Mm.
lesson that I learned a lot. I wanted to penetrate Indian market. So I decided to write to all these consultant accounting firm in Delhi, and I tell them
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming over. Maybe we can network something. So what happened was that when I first went there, it was quite tough. For those who have never been to India, India is a place either you like it or you hate it, right? Actually, honestly.
I've not been there before, but I was supposed to be there. Due long overdue to visit some friends.
So
Yeah.
Delhi, I went there, and I first trip because typical. I'm trying to cheapskate, so I stay in a hotel in South Extension, in
Mm.
Delhi, and $60. I think $60 per night. I don't mind the cockroach running around, but I don't like the water. Our shower, the lather cannot. I don't know how it's hard water, right? Water
Hot
cannot
water.
lather. So that night I slept okay lah because in India is a place it's quite unique one. So at that time I also Indian 10 o'clock meeting 12 o'clock come CEO lah. So they never puncture, and then I realized you have to understand that you are Singaporean consultant wanting to come help Hong Kong company, Indian company, and you live in such cheapskate hotel. Face very important, I'm telling you. So that first trip was a waste of time. Nobody comes, some people late, everything. I decided I'm going to take a second shot. You know, I put aside about $8,000 to $10,000 to try to penetrate the market. Or for those who want to do business development, nothing is free one. I can tell you a
Nothing
story
is
about.
free. Correct. No free lunch.
So I went there. Second trip, I stayed at a place called the Touch. That was a fun part. Now different,
Mm.
people buy me lunch, buy me drink, all this consultant, accountant, but still not doing well. How do I penetrate the market? Something happened that night. As an entrepreneur, I happened to be well dressed. I'm looking for a meeting. After meeting, when I came back in the Touch is like, I don't know, Hilton or Hyatt in India at that time. I remember in
Mm.
1997, Touch was on $145 per night. Now you go Touch, it's $400 to $500 a night. Right. That's how the market has changed over the years.
Yeah.
So that night in the Touch is a very expensive hotel. So very nice hotel actually. I saw a wedding, right? My story is going to tell you the wedding story. So I was curious of wedding. And for those who have never been to wedding, Indian wedding, it's a 3 to 5 days affair, right? And it's a big hoo-ha with elephant, everything on. So I just curious, I walk into a wedding and that one night, I finished all my name card. Wow, everybody. And I realized that is fantastic way of networking. From that day onward, I get crash wedding for the next 3.5, 4 years. You know, my company has over 30,000 companies in India. Five city 7 day tour. You must understand, I'm a one man 2 woman operation. I'm a small consultancy firm, and the idea was to take India to develop people, China to develop India business. And I tell at that time we are Singaporean, then big deal, right? Everybody think you're a big deal, and I can speak several languages, so I got away. And if you understand Indian wedding, for those who are Indian friend of us listening, you realize that India is especially North India, is 3 to 5 days affair, and everybody come from all over India to come to your wedding. If you're somebody, and Indian has a
Mm.
culture. And after I do this 5 city 7 day tour, I will go to Delhi, to Lucknow, Campo, Srinagar, Goa, you name it, Orissa. I went around all over the country, right? On this 5 city, I tour a lot, and I go there. I attend weddings. Sometimes I get crash wedding, because it's very rare to see a Chinese person coming to your son's wedding. And if you look
Oh, Mr. Koh, yeah, genius. Yeah, genius.
I look like Jackie Chan. So every time I get away, I look like Jackie Chan. So that's all. So a lot of times I actually you have to enjoy it, but it's my business. So those who are passionate about entrepreneurship, right? You have to go overseas. I personally don't think Singapore is the market to planet. Everybody is fighting the same pie, right?
Yes, correct. You're
Everybody is
absolutely right.
say, a financial advisor and all that kind of thing. Try to see the world, and you have an advantage. So I did this 5 city. After the years, I was so good that I was invited by SPGen, one of the top management school, to teach, and I get regularly out. So I built my India contact. So I supposed to attend a wedding in November, but cannot make it because of COVID-19. So I built from there a big pool of Indian clients, and I also built a pool of China guys, because you know why? Chinese love to go to India, and I tell a lot of projects that I do in India, China, India. One of the very rare person in Singapore who had done it, that was invited to be a coach for IE Singapore at that time. So in this one of the Indian trip is where the story begins. I
Yes.
was in India in a place called Chennai, right? And my publisher said, "Hey, Sing Chun, finish a third book, I cannot." So I asked the publisher, "What do you want me to write about?" "Oh, write about life." "Okay, I write about life, but I know nuts about life." So I went to a temple in outside Chennai, and I walk in and ask a priest, "What is life?" Okay, or what is success in living? And it was
Mm.
quite funny actually. He said, he spent the whole 8 hours talking about life. It's based on a book called the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is like the Bible or something like that that you read on. And I learned about from him. I just listen. I mean, never ask a priest about life. He was an 8 hour lecture. But what was when I walk out, the priest was quite nice. If you really want to know about life, go to a place called Dharavi. Now, for those who don't know what's Dharavi, it's in Mumbai. It's the poorest place in the world. People survive on US dollars, I don't know, per month. And if you saw the show Slumdog Millionaire, that is
Yep.
Dharavi.
I was.
So at that time, I was in Chennai. So I flew over to Anhari, which is in Mumbai, and I came out, and my driver will pick me up. I have a driver there because I drive India a lot, right? You must have your own driver. I tell you, Indian driver is very scary one. I tell you, nobody's been there. No. So I go to India, there's no windshield one. I tell you, the wind all gone one. Rear mirror gone. That's quite funny one. One day I'll write a book about India. So I went to Arabi, and it is very very unique place. It's you can see the size of 100 square feet or 60 square feet contains the kitchen, the bedroom, the bathroom, all no, may not bathroom, sorry, all inside one place, dining table, one place, and you can have family of 6 to 8 people, and the whole thing run around a small drain. You can smell it's got smell. It's quite smelly. It's just a slum. It's one of the biggest slum in India at that time. From what I know, but it's also the most enterprising place I've seen. You see people cutting rubber piece. You see people painting, those oil tank box, can and all that. A lot of things. There was a pottery. They make pottery. Talk about eco friendly. They're making pottery made of clay, and then after you drink it, you smash it, you throw it, go back to nature. It was a remarkable place. Then after 3 hours walking, the priest asked me, "So, why am I here? Why are you here? Why you send me here?" I can tell you, when I was walking, people give me milk to drink in a stainless steel cup and all that. I realized one thing when I was walking around. That place is very unique. The poorest place in the world has laughter. Everybody's laughing. Everybody's happy. And you're talking about very poor people. And people
That's
will
very
sing.
profound. That's very profound. Yeah.
So after 3 hours, I realized, shucks, I need to go and rewrite my book. So at the end of the day, I came back and I rewrite the book called Element Success in Living. So Element Success in Living comprised of several things. First, success has to do with love. You must love what you do. Okay.
Yeah.
The passion to live. Uh, many. I mean, if you read the book, it's a story about how people find the passion to life. About suicide. The storybook hinges on a man who is going to commit suicide. This is true, actually. I can tell you what happened to the man later on. He came on the roof to kill himself. Just as he was going to jump and arrange his slippers properly. By the way, if you notice people's suicide, they are trying to arrange. If you slip and fall, your slippers are always all over the place. But
Yeah.
somebody arrange your
All place.
slippers nicely, he's actually doing the message, going to jump. And he dressed. There's a reason why he's jumping. Then somebody came up and talked to him, right, and explained to him why you must find the passion for life. Then the success in life has to do with passion. Find something you love to do. A lot of people do things because they're not so happy doing it, but because it's survival. But sometimes you do things that you really love to do. And you must have heard a lot of stories of people finding the passion. Find that
Yeah.
passion. Find
Correct.
the passion in life. Secondly is time. Time is fixed, by the way. It's 24 hours. Imagine you go to work 8 hours. I don't know. You go to sleep 10 hours working. There's only 6 hours left for physical, social, spiritual, family time. That's all. Time is fixed. Rich or poor, young and old, you only have 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? That's the only finite element in the whole formula. And the third thing you need to know is knowledge. Success in life has to never stop learning. You think I know about hawker life? Fat chance, I know nuts about hawker life. But last 10, 11 years, I can tell you, I can help you to design a hawker center. I can design the eco-friendly hawker center for you. But it took me years to learn this. I can tell you the price of what kind of rice. I can tell you chicken got 36 days, 38 days. Hong Kong one is 47 days, 60 days onward. The chicken is very different. But Kai versus all this is all become part and parcel of what I learned. And I enjoy it. That's one thing very important. So life,
Very important.
success in life is never stop learning. You keep learning. Now I'm playing, I got the piano and all that. The next formula is to do with money, right? I've seen family who survive 1,600 a day, a year, a month salary, and they were very happy. I've seen people with multi-millionaire, wow, a lot of things. But at the end of the day, money is not how much you have, it's how you spend it,
Yeah.
right? And maybe you draw, okay, I explained to you in the book, right? You draw a curve, a bell curve,
Yep. Yep.
right? You must understand something that from 10, 11, 12 onward, you draw a line. 18, 19, you draw a line. At the end of the other 16, 17, you draw a line. Why? Because that is the earning power of what you can earn. You think at 11, 12 years old can earn money? Not really. 80, 90 years old and all your partners, all your network is gone, you think you earn money? No.
No.
So 40, 50, 60 is the earning power that you have. So I'm trying to
Correct.
explain to you. You must understand. And if you look at the curve of money, right, actually
Yep.
it's about, at the end of the day, as many of you know, it's about active earning and passive earning at the end of the day.
Correct.
So
Correct. Correct.
money is critical. You are the expert. I'll leave that to talk about it some other time. The next formula is very important, is health, physical and mental health. Life is about good
Yes.
health. So basically, everybody tell you about this thing. And finally, the formula is life is full of opportunity. So the whole book encompasses about different stories inside there that compile the whole thing, right? So life is about living, passion for life, time, uh, knowledge, money, health, and opportunity. And this is
Mm.
why Arthur Cavendish decided to ask me to sign a contract for 4 books. It went on to do very well, but I enough already. You see, every year I set a target, which is why in 2006 I set out the target to build Dignity Kitchen. It took me 10 years, about 07, 08, 09, 3 years and a half years to actually build the first Dignity Kitchen, right? So from there on, it just kept growing. So I 1 year. So couple of lessons I want to share with you is that first of all, my
Mm.
mommy always tell me something. 0 to 25, you learn. You get a degree, you get whatever, you learn. 25 to 50, you earn. I don't know how Yanta, how old you are now, but 25 to
36.
50, 36, okay.
36.
So 25 to 50, you earn your money, you earn your reputation.
Yep.
50 onwards, you must give back because 生不带来死不带去. You come with nothing, you go with nothing.
Yes.
So what's you do, right? So in the book, right, the last chapter of the book is actually what is success in life. I don't think you guys will read my book. Anyway, I tell you the
I
answer.
will read your
I'll
book,
tell you,
and I want you to
I'll,
help me
I'll tell
sign
you,
also.
I'll tell you the end of the story. What is actually success in living? By the way, it's not how big a car you have, how big a house you have. I'll tell you why.
Correct.
Because it took me 2.5, it took me 600 over interview in over 6 countries to eventually find the answer. I went to ask people, what is success in living? What is success? And eventually, I actually got the answer. It's on page 67 of this book. But I'll tell you the answer at the end of this talk. Okay? What is success in living? So what I'm trying to explain to you is that mommy, daddy always tell me 0 to 25 you earn, 25 to 50 you learn, you learn your, now first one is, so 0 to 25 you learn, 25 to 50 you earn, 50 onwards you must give back because you can't take with you. And the last thing, another lesson I learned is also very important that I share you. That's number 2. Success is a satisfying state of the mind. Failure is when you stop trying. A lot of people say, wow, you Dignity Kitchen and all the things I do, have I failed? Actually, not true. If I keep trying, I'm not failing. So don't get this mindset that everybody must be a failure before you can success. Let me tell you something about Project Dignity. There are 4 questions people always ask me. Are you a Christian? I tell I'm not a very religious person. Is your family challenged? Are you an ex-convict prisoners? I'm not. That's why it's so remarkable that I don't have a reason to start this. Right. So if I tell people, if you look beyond religion, you look beyond yourself, you look beyond politics, you find something very special, which is what Project Dignity tried to do. You
Mm.
find something called kindness. You know, kindness has no politics. Kindness has no religion. Kindness is blind to the color of your skin and the nature of your disability. Kindness cannot be preached. Kindness comes from the heart, right? So, Project Dignity, which I started, has nothing to do with religion or politics. It's about being kind to people. And when I went to Hong Kong, I started Hong Kong with a lot of the riot last year and
Yes.
the COVID-19. And I'm a Singaporean employing and helping over 50 over Hong Kong people. Everybody asks me the same question. Why do you want to help Hong Kong people? You know what's my answer? I'm not here to help Hong Kong people. I'm here to help people.
People.
That is why the third logic in understand is look beyond all this. You find something called kindness, right?
Yeah.
And finally, the answer to this book, because my time is 40 minutes, which I just finished. I just passed the 40 minutes mark.
No worries. Please carry on.
No, it's okay. I set myself 40 minutes to tell you a story. So basically, this element of success that I just show you, right? Okay. Success is about, finding that something special that you want to do. Have passion for it. No matter how, people say, I'm 60 something. Who cares? Age is a number, right? You're 36 years old. You're 36 years old. Let me ask you, do you know what's the answer to success in life? The last thing I
I'm
hope
still
to share.
finding it. I'm still finding.
The answer is very simple. The answer to success in life is legacy. What you're going to leave behind. Yenta, you could be very lucky. Your children could be your legacy. Some people may say, okay, in my case, I guess my success is being able to help hundreds and hundreds of people to get employment so that they can support themselves and make a living for themselves. So the fourth thing I want to share with your people is success in life, as what this formula just explained to you. After 600 over interview and over many years of writing this book, success in life has to do with legacy. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Koh. Wow, that was really amazing, and there's a lot of food for thought as well. And if you like to get Mr. Koh's book, I just Google. It's available on Amazon.
It's not. I don't think the book is available because it's
Not
got
yet.
17 years ago. It's all no. It's gone. It's all completed because I never go bother to publish it because you see the way I live my life is that once you've done something, move on. Get something done, move on. Get something done, move on. Don't dwell on this. So my book run already done. Okay, finish. I write book finish. I'm trying to write the next book. I want to publish.
Okay. So, Mr. Koh, so what if I want to get a copy? How can I get my hands on your book? Other than going to your house and listen to you.
I don't have anymore. But I tell you what, I see whether I can find the book on Living, and then I pass to you. I'll try to find. I don't think there are many. But the day when they moved office, they found one box of books that belongs to me. So I tell you, last time when I started doing kitchen was only one store, right? When we moved to the next place, it's only two 14-footer, one 14-footer to bring my stuff. Today, last 3 days, two 40-footer and two 20-footer to move all my stuff from A to B. We just want now it's got too big. I'm very blessed. My people are the one who actually helped me happen. So anyway, I will try to see where I can get the book for you. Now, anybody want to ask me question? I don't know whether
I think they are still trying to digest what you are. There are actually 15 people online together right now. So thank you for coming online.
I can't see anybody on this.
You can't see from the side, but I can see. So there are 15 people and 8 likes for this video.
Your father-in-law, like, ask your father any question. Father-in-law want a question for us.
Yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to type in the comments. If not, actually the video will be available on your feed as well. So I'll send you the link later, and it's also on my YouTube channel. And people can just watch it, and they have questions to ask, they will just ask along the way. But I shall not hold up your time any longer because we have just used up all our time. But actually, I can sit down here for another 1-2 hours to listen to Mr. Koh. Yeah, I actually wrote down quite a bit of notes as well. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Koh, for your time, and I look forward to connecting with you face to face. And thanks, guys, for coming online as well and on the Happy Man show. Oh, Carson, okay, he asked one question. What is your next project? So maybe you want to answer that before we wrap up the session.
Okay, good question actually. You see, I'm an engineer by training. I'm not a social worker. My purpose is to create job. So in Hong Kong, I created. Let me explain to you. When I start business, I'm very clear cut. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. First one is to create. That's in Balestier. Step 2 is to innovate. All this idea, you become the coffee master and all that, we innovate, right? The third one is to scale it, which is the third one is to sustainable. So Dignity Kitchen actually is sustainable now. It depends on 5 revenue, and if it's not for COVID-19, we're actually making break even. But the money I get, I don't keep. You know that I don't have my salary damn low only. I give it back to the people. So as one example, my student coming to them, I pay them allowance at $4.50 an hour, one day $27. So the money goes back. All those old people I invite for lunch, who's going to pay for it? So the money I earn, so you guys come and eat from me, I earn the money, or I'm a skill future, so you'll come for cooking class, right? With your friend, all this, we run a class for you. The money I earn from the training, support the training of the disabled, right? Don't ask me about government support, okay? This is a separate topic already. Then the final one is, all the money we earn goes back to them. That's what is a social enterprise. Actually, social enterprise is just a commercial entity with a social mission. And my mission is to return to the disabled and disadvantaged. What next? I take on you see, I started a mama store because I want to help the mother. Then I started a wheelchair in Hong Kong. If you go to Hong Kong, Google, you see the Hong Kong. You see, Hong Kong has one problem. They have people on wheelchair, but they couldn't get to work because their office are so small and not wheelchair friendly. So I started the first wheelchair food delivery using electric. I designed a wheelchair with bags, everything to carry the food. And we provide, before the COVID-19, we actually provide job for 3 disabled, right? Another project I'm trying to start next year is Dignity M. M for Medica. I'm 60 years old now, and a lot of my friend, my Navy, my NS friend, a lot of them 冇工做了, no job. I'm so sad. So I said, why don't I start a cafe to help these people that employ only the 60 something? That is my mission to do. But the best part of this project is Dignity AI. AI stands for Artificial Intelligence. When I proposed this project to the Hong Kong government, they told me that you're doing the impossible. You know why? I'm going to find a robot that can roam around Dignity Kitchen. It can come to you and talk to you. Now with Android, it's so easy, right? How are you?
Yes.
But at the back, the person controlling the robot is a paraplegic. That means he's completely paralyzed. With the hand can move to run a joystick. Okay, the joystick controls the robot going up and down. So, for example, you want a question about, hey, what you have for today's special? He will use the television screen to imply all your questions to. I'm going to create people who are possible to create job for the paraplegic. The first robot design was already done already. Hong Kong, we're doing the programming now. After that, I'm going to launch it in Hong Kong in March and April. And after that, I want to try to see whether we can use it for Singapore. So that's the next project. Then what I want to do is very simple. When I can get this robot up and running, run by people who are paralyzed and homebound, I will be able to put this robot into every shopping center in Singapore, where we can actually reach out to people who are paralytic. And I tell you, the reason inspired me was a guy who has a motorbike accident. He's a young man, 27, 28, motorbike, paralyzed, but he can play game. So that was the idea. If I can play game, you can actually run my robot. Because the game, so I want him to. Now there are a lot of problems, technical problems. For example, the network. The guy my house must have broadband and not in charge. I'm doing it in Hong Kong first, because Hong Kong very nice to me. They let me try the whole thing, and they use because the broadband is issue now. So I try to solve that problem. Even the robot, very hard to the motion control is very slow. So we need 5G and all that. So there are a lot of technical issues to do. We hope to create the job for the impossible. This is actually the impossible. Paraplegic lie at home, running a robot. That's it. So I have several projects. This is just some of the projects that I invest. For one advice I give to people about this is sometimes don't start with money. Start with the success of a project first. And I tell you, money will come. Seriously.
Yeah, correct. Fully agree.
I got Medica, I got several projects lined up, Dignity Wheel, Dignity Robot, AI. So that will keep me going. Because I mean, sometimes people at 61 sometimes still watch a Korean show. I wanted to do that one day, actually, watch Korean show. But I guess I'm doing something.
Mr. Koh, I think what you are doing more interesting than a Korean show. You are actually making the show yourself.
No, but,
You're
you
doing
create,
life. Yeah, you're
no,
doing
no,
life.
create the interest. You find something that you really. I'm into social. I like to help the disabled. So we actually, how we started actually is not clever. Let's say, for example, a person with stroke come in town. We must find a solution. So we have a machine from China. You press the thing, and selling noodle in blanch. I have a girl who is 90% blind. I got a machine from Taiwan that actually make clay pot rice. I got people who are
Mm.
deaf. I train them to hawker master. That's kopi, tea, milk, sugar. That's all. These are all food. Next time I show you how to train the blind to collect money. So basically, you find a solution to make that person able. That means you don't look at their disability, you look at ability. And that's why
Yep.
we succeeded. And I'm very lucky. I
Yep.
got a good bunch of people behind me who's helping me. Seriously. And that's where I succeeded. I got good team people. I hope I answered that question of the several project I'm doing. Okay.
Yeah, I think Mr. Koh is
40
Mr.
minutes,
Carson
50
is
minutes.
more than happy with that.
Any other
Okay, thank
questions?
you.
Like,
Yeah,
you can
I
ask
think
me now because if
that's
other
all.
than that, I don't have time to go and do this. I'm glad
Okay,
you
thank you,
enjoyed
Mr. Koh, for your time. Yeah, it's been
it.
a very great pleasure talking to you. And let's do a face to face soon, soon. Yeah, soon. And
You take care.
guys, thank you
Any other
for tuning in to the Happy Coach Show. Yeah, and see
okay.
you
Email
next week,
address
next Tuesday. Yeah.
69 Boon Keng Road. Okay.
Sorry.
The new Dignity Kitchen is moved to a new address. It's 69 Boon Keng Road. You know the red building. If
69
you
Boon
ever
Keng
pass,
Road. Yeah.
if you pass you go to Bendemeer, you see this red building warehouse. That's mine. Okay.
Yeah.
Come for lunch, for
69.
meal. Okay.
Okay, can. When will it be ready again? The new one.
Uh, supposed to be ready by first week. All right. So first week of January, we should be operational already. Should be able to do that. Okay. Thank you very much for the
Okay,
opportunity. And
thank
Merry
you.
Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Bye bye.
Bye.